Good morning. Good morning. Hello, everyone. Hello, hello. I'm going to try to wait till everyone gets in. Want to talk to you this morning. How is everyone on today? Uh, Trying to get my lighting together here. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Good morning. Trying to just wait for a few other people to get in. And I want to talk to you about something today. Dealing with jealous people. Proverbs. Dealing with jealous people. Proverbs 29:25. Won't be long before you. Just wanted to try to wait till a few more people got in. If you're in the bushes, don't forget to hit the like button, the thumbs up button. If you're not a subscriber, subscribe to the channel and share the video. Um, I just want to say thank you all for supporting me and rocking with me. And we may not always see eye to eye on different subject matters and things like that, but we all can respect one another and respect one another, and because we're not always going to share the same views, we're not always going to uh, you know um, have the same opinions, and we're not going to always agree. But there is something called dealing with jealous people. And Proverbs 29:25 says, the fear of man brings a snare, but whoever trusts in and puts his confidence in the Lord will be exalted and safe. Proverbs 29:25. And I want to talk to you today. And even if it's just one person that shows up in this chat today or show up to hear this message, it's a very profound message, and it's a good message because a lot of times people don't understand jealousy. And I did a video a long time ago about jealousy, and people don't understand when they're acting jealous. Sometimes they just think that they just think that they're saying whatever they're saying and they're voicing their opinion and all of that. But not everyone is going to be happy when you begin a new life in God and begin to live in his plan for you. And there's a lot of people that have had a history, a past. We all have had it. We've had that history. Good morning. Good morning. We've had that past. Please hit the like button. And if you can come into the chat, if you're able to, I would appreciate that. But not everyone is going to be happy when you begin a new life in God and begin to live in his plan for you. And there's people out here that will hold your past against you. They'll talk about your past and all the things that they say that you've done. But although God forgives, right? And God, he will throw everything you've done in the sea of forgiveness. He does those things. And we all have a right to live out a plan that God has given us. We have a right to live out that purpose that God has shown us. We have a right to pursue, you know, the plan that God has for our life. And whether we were pursuing that plan in our past or not, we still have the freedom to change our life around. We still have the freedom to do what's right in the sight of Christ, whether other people agree with it or not. So everyone's not going to be happy when you begin your new life in God and begin to live in his plan for you. And you will see a lot of people become envious. They start wanting to bring up your past and talk about your past. And I remember they used to do this and do that. Now they holier than now. Now they think they're this and they think that. And they won't even accept your new attitude if you decide to change from how you used to live your life in the past. And if you were participating in backbiting and gossiping and throwing stones and arguing and, really getting, verbally violent with others, or you were doing things, and participating in activities, that were not right. But then you decide, I want to change. I want to be better for my children or better for myself or better for others. I want to feel better and I want to feel good. So your new attitude and your new mindset and new blessings can cause others to be convicted of sin and jealous of the things they are lacking in their own lives. And that's a good point right there, is that right here, let's stop that part right here. New mindset, new attitude, and new blessings can cause others to be convicted of sin and jealous of the things they are lacking in their own lives. And let me tell you something about that. When people are lacking things in their own life, it will cause them to be convicted of sin and jealous of the things that going on in your life. But they will be jealous because they are lacking those things in their own lives. And that is really a true statement. We see it so much today that they will get envious because you have changed your mindset and you have blessings that you wasn't, that didn't show up yet, or your blessings wasn't obvious. Because see, God blesses us each day we get up, and people sometimes take it for granted. Each day when they wake up, they take that for granted. But I thank God every day that he wakes me up. I thank God every day for the breath that I breathe. I thank God every single day. And so some people, they just get complacent and they don't realize that waking up is a blessing. So they don't see those blessings as a blessing or obvious. So when you get blessed with a new car and somebody sees it, or you get blessed with a new home and someone sees it, or you get blessed with an apartment where you used to be homeless, or you used to be from hotel or motel, from motel to hotel, or you were living in your car, or, you've been struggling to go to school, or you've been struggling to, get a better paying job or even a job. And people start to see your blessings because you have a new mindset, you have a new attitude, and you have a God change your heart, because God is a heart regulator and he can change hearts and minds. And so you've changed those things around, and now you have new blessings in your life, and others get upset. They're jealous and they get convicted because they are lacking the things in their own lives, because they don't have good transportation, or they don't have a car, or they don't have their own apartment or their own home, and they don't have a decent paying job. And so they are jealous of the things that you have, that God is blessing you in their own lives, that they are lacking. And they get jealous because of what they're lacking. And they start to attack you, and they start to, talk about you and make you the talk of the town, and make you the talk of social media or YouTube or Instagram or whatever it may be. They make you the talk. And in their talk is all ugly and is not nice, and it's vulgar, and then they want to get people to follow them, and they want to talk as if their opinion matters, and what they're saying is so true. But yet and still they are lacking in their own lives. That's the thing about jealousy. When people are jealous of you, remember, they are lacking things in their own lives. They are lacking courage. They are lacking the new attitude. They are lacking the things that could change them to have those blessings. Good morning, One Pap. I'm talking about dealing with jealous people. And this is a topic that I wish that everybody could show up in this chat. Not because I want likes and clicks, but this is something that we've seen played out over and over, especially on YouTube and even Instagram, and even in our own families and on our jobs. So I'm talking about dealing with jealous people, because not everyone is going to be happy when you begin a new life in God and begin to live in his plan for you. See, because when you start to have a new attitude and a new mindset, and God starts to bless you, and especially with blessings that are obvious than the ones where we just wake up each day and we're thankful. People take that for granted. But the new blessings, a new car, a new home, or an apartment where you used to be homeless, things like that I was speaking of earlier, they get upset and they are convicted of sin, because being jealous of others is a sin. And people don't recognize that jealousy is a sin. So they keep on sinning. They're still convicted, but they keep doing it. They make cartoons. They talk about other folks. They lie on other folks. They embellish stories out here on social media. They say all types of things to get other people to follow them and to laugh and make fun of folks and keep attacking people and keep going on because they are lacking things in their own lives. They are lacking things in their own lives. They have failed to change their attitude. They have failed to change their mindset. They have failed to allow God to regulate their heart and change their stony, evil, hateful heart into a heart of love to be able to celebrate and uplift others. See, today, we see so many people wanting to put others down and make them fail and give them thumbs up, but then still they ought to be elevating and celebrating and trying to relate to one another in kindness, love, truth, and honesty. But they choose to follow their own convicted sin and jealousy that they lack. They lack the good things. And they're full of the convicted sin that they have not allowed God to deliver them from. They are full of the convicted sin that they have not allowed God to deliver them from. And it's not just material things, as I was saying. It's not just material things. See, the obvious is a new car, a new home, an apartment. You're no longer homeless. New clothes, new shoes, a new job, new pay, an increase on your job, all types of things. Those things, but the obvious thing, those are obvious, but the things of waking up each day and thanking the Lord that he woke you up and, breathing the air and all of these things, they don't recognize that waking up each day is a blessing. It's a blessing from the Father. It's a blessing from the Almighty. Whatever you want to associate God with in his name, because he has so many names, the Almighty, the King of Kings, the Lord of Lords, he has so many names, and they don't realize that waking up each day, opening up your eyes when we see so many violent killings and people, have this difference of opinion of how this young girl was shot and it was justified. I disagree. But at the same time, the obvious, they see the obvious. Good morning, Miss T. Lynn. They see the obvious and they're mad and they're jealous of these material things, but they don't know your story. They don't know where you've come from. They don't know your testimonies that you have given to other people to help lift them up. They can't tell your story, but so many people are trying to tell somebody else's story and they're angry about it because they haven't accepted the new mindset and the new attitude in you and that God is blessing you. So they are jealous because they're not willing. They're not willing to see the goodness of the Lord. And so as you follow God, there will be people who are jealous of your newfound peace. See, when God shows up and gives you that newfound peace, if you've been battling with unpeace and you've been battling with things that just wasn't making you feel good each day, and when you wake up and God has restored you to a new person and gave you a new mindset and a new attitude, and you found a newfound peace, they are going to be jealous of your newfound peace. They are going to be jealous of your emotional health, and they are going to be jealous because you have a joyful outlook on life. See, they want to take away your peace, but they can't take away something that God has already blessed you with. They can't destroy your emotional health when you're walking with God. When you have the protection and the power and the Holy Spirit over you and you're walking with God, they can't destroy you, but they want to. I've seen it so many times. They've tried to destroy certain people on these platforms that are trying to do the good. And I don't want to name names, and so I won't throw out names, but most of you know that are tuned in, and if you're in the bushes, you know that they have tried to destroy certain individuals' emotional health and their newfound peace when they have walked away from the foolishness and said that I am going to walk upright and I am going to follow follow what God has already gave me in the purpose, and they have tried to show up and destroy that newfound peace and that person's emotional health. And when they see that you're happy, that you have a smile on your face, you're steady getting up each day, you're doing the work that God has called you, you're walking in the blessings that God has given you, they don't like it. And so therefore they get upset and they're jealous and they try to destroy your emotional health and your joy. But don't they have not realized that they can't do it? Because what God has given you, they cannot take it away. What God has blessed you with, they cannot steal it. See, the devil comes to kill, steal, and destroy. And he has been convicted of sin a long time ago. He was kicked out of heaven. And guess what? He is jealous of the things that God is doing in his life of his people. And they're jealous. See, we don't have to apologize. And so all you people that have been suffering and have went through this storm of people trying to steal your peace and trying to destroy your emotional health and your joyful outlook on life, don't apologize for what God has given you just because someone else is jealous of it. Don't apologize for the job that God has blessed you with to be on for many years. Don't apologize for your home and your nice cut lawn. Don't apologize for the cars that he's blessed you with. Don't apologize for your beautiful children. Don't apologize for the food that you eat. Don't apologize for the things that God has already blessed you with. Don't apologize for your newfound peace. Don't apologize for your new emotional health. Don't apologize for the joyful outlook on life that God has given you. Don't apologize. You don't owe these folks nothing. You owe it to them to walk in your blessings, to walk in peace, to walk in love, to walk in mercy. You owe it to them to do those things for yourself. You don't have to apologize what God has already given you. You don't have to apologize for the joy that God has given you, for the love, for the mercy, for the grace that he extends to you. You don't have to apologize, because they're just jealous. And that is something they need to deal with. That is something that they need to turn it over to Jesus and ask God to deliver them from their convicted sin. Because jealousy is a sin, and God has convicted so many people, but they chose to look the other way instead of looking forward to Jesus. See, if they can't be happy for you, that is their problem. Don't let their problem become your problem. If they are not happy for you, that is their problem, not yours. Don't let their problems become yours. See, God already knows what we're going to go through. He already knows. So we don't have to let anybody else's problems become ours, because Lord knows we have enough problems on our own. And when I take my problems to the Lord, I'm expecting something in return. I go to him expecting a miracle. I go to him expecting change. So therefore, I cannot be worried about your problems over there. And I'm not going to make your problems my problems, because I have my own that I need to take to the Lord. See, because I'm not a perfect person, but I'm not jealous of nothing that God is doing for my brother or sister, because it's in his time that he's going to do what he's going to do for me. And maybe he says it's their time to wear that crown. Maybe they've suffered enough. Maybe they've been through enough. Maybe they've shown God that they deserve the blessing that he's giving them and storing on them. So guess what? I am happy for my brothers and sisters. I lift them up on high, and whatever blessings that they get, I thank the Lord that he has blessed them and delivered them, because I want the best for them like I want the best for me. So I'm not going to hate on my brother and sister when God blesses them, because I want the good for me. See, God loves me just like he loves you. So why would I want anything less than for my brother and my sister? You see, you can encourage and pray for them. And that's the thing that we can do. We can encourage them. We can pray for them, but don't let their jealousy discourage you. You can't take on the problem like that, because that's not your problem. Jealousy of another person is not your problem. So if they're jealous of you, that's not your problem. You can pray for them, ask the Lord to deliver them. You can say, Lord, bless them as only you can. Because see, I can't bless you, but God can. But he can use me to be a blessing to someone else. See, there's a difference there. Yeah, guess what? Hey, I'm going to say, Lord, touch them in a mighty special way and deliver them. Help them, Lord. Help them to see it your way. Not my way, but your way. Because, Lord, there was a time that I might have been walking around with convicted sin in my own heart. And I had to be delivered from it. So, Lord, do the same for them. Deliver them of their convicted sin, Lord. And whatever they're lacking, bless them, Lord, in a mighty special way. Let them see it your way, Lord, not their way. And see, those are the things that we got to do when our brothers and sisters are just so caught up in their convicted sin. And they can't see the good in others. Even when God is blessing you, even when God is blessing others, they'd rather see them still down on their knees, waddling in the dirt and not having a place to stay or not having a decent car to drive to get where you need to be. They'd rather see turmoil in the Black community, and they'd rather see these killings that keep going on. And I don't like you, and I don't want you to be around me, and I can't sup with you, and I can't this, and I can't that. They'd rather continue to walk in their convicted sin. And see, God already knows, and they know too, because most of them feel it in their spirit when God convicts them. But they'd rather walk in their convicted sin and be jealous of others instead of celebrating and uplifting others and just saying, Lord, whatever they got, Lord, whatever you are blessing them with, how can I walk upright, Lord, to get the blessings and the things that I've been praying for or asking for? See, it's not going to be the same blessing. But I might be asking for something totally different, and I haven't gotten it because maybe my heart isn't clean. Maybe I'm not walking upright because I'm still walking in the convicted sin that God had already told me to put it away. See, you can't win if you ain't right within. And I say this a lot. You can't win if you ain't right within. So if your heart ain't right and you're walking around in convicted sin, you can't win. You'll never get the victory. You'll never be victorious in that way because you're still walking around in convicted sin and you're jealous of the things that God has blessed others with. And when you're jealous of what God is doing for others, that means you're not happy with what God is doing. That means that you're not satisfied with God. But God is perfect. He's mighty in every special way. So how can he not be perfect? But see, people say, well, I'm not happy. Well, that means you're not happy with what God is doing. And God is perfect. He don't make no mistakes. And one day you may get to wear your crown in due time. You may get the blessings that you've been asking for. But you have to make sure that your heart is right within and that it's clean. And that you're not hating on others for the blessings that God has given others and the restoration that he has done for other people, because God restores people. Because we all have a past. We all have a past. And so God, good morning, Miss Casey. How you doing? How you doing? Try to unsubscribe and subscribe again. That's happened to me on some of my favorite YouTube channels, and I went out and then resubscribed and it worked. But don't let jealousy discourage you when someone's jealous of you. Don't allow that to happen. Because we got to just be clean on the inside to know that God is for us. He's never against us. But when you have a new attitude, a new life, and a new walk, and God has found favor with you, accept your blessings and move on. Thank the Lord for the blessings and move forward. Don't allow someone to deter you. Don't let them and their problems become your problems. Don't let it. Don't allow it. Because God didn't bless you to walk in discontent. He didn't bless you to be unhappy. He didn't bless you to be concerned about somebody else's jealousy. He didn't bless you to be concerned about somebody else's sin. And he certainly didn't bless you to make their problem yours. See, because a lot of times when people are jealous, guess what they're doing? They are lacking things in their own life, and they're reflecting on what they don't have and hating on the folks that do. But like I said, you can pray for them. Pray for them. And rejoice in the blessings of the Lord that God has already given you. Rejoice. Hey, good morning, Bossy Queen. How you doing? Rejoice in the Lord for the blessings that he's already given you. Stand on those promises. Stand on the word of God. And pray for the ones that try to despitefully use you. Pray for them. Pray for them. And that God will deliver them from their convicted sin. Those are the things that we can do, is pray for our brothers and sisters. Because even if they are hating on us, God still created them. He created them like he created us. And he don't love them any less. He just hates the sin. But he don't love them any less. So today's thought, because as I said, I wasn't going to keep you long. I know you got things to do on this Thursday, this beautiful day, but make a choice not to let the accusations of jealous or suspicious people intimidate you into giving up what God has provided. Don't let these people intimidate you and their suspiciousness make you discouraged and intimidated by the things that God has already provided for you. And if God has provided it for you, then you know it's sound. Then you know it's firm. Then you know that it's a foundation and your feet is planted firmly on the blessings that God has given you. See, God don't make no mistakes. And when he blesses you with some good stuff. It's never junk. It's never mess. It's never confusion. He blesses you with some good stuff. See, God don't bless no mess. He don't bless no mess. He blesses you to be a blessing to others. But when God has blessed you, you can't allow the haters and the naysayers to discourage you and to intimidate you because of what God is doing in your life. See, there are some folks out here that would threaten other people and talk a big rah-rah game. Yes, we know about those people, but they can't take what God has already given you. What he's already blessed you with, ain't nothing they gonna do about it. What they do, they gonna threaten to pull up. You gotta be careful about that pulling up stuff, because I've seen some folks get hurt pulling up. So walk in your blessings. Walk in the blessings that God has given you. Don't worry about all of that over there, because there's nothing really that they can do. I always say, you can't disapprove what God has already approved, and you can't approve what God has already disapproved. That's right. That's right. If you love life, be careful, because let me tell you something. There's some folks out here that don't play those games. And they'll protect all of their assets at all costs by any means necessary. That's a true statement. See, we keep it real over here. We talk about the word of God. We share our faith, but we keep it real over here, my sisters and brothers. It's real talk. And there's some folks out here that don't play those games. And you got to be very careful about these threats that you keep making. Because you never know in your convicted sin when God gonna make it a reality for you. Because see, there's some folks out here that's been talking a lot of smack on these YouTube streets and all of this stuff on Instagram and Twitter. But guess what? Their day is coming, because God has already convicted them in their sin, and they keep on walking in the sin, and they rather not be delivered, as God has already tried to deliver them. So they keep walking in their convicted sin. And guess what? One day soon, we don't know the time or hour that God is going to show you and make it obvious to you that I have already warned you. but you chose to keep walking in the convicted sin that I tried to deliver you from, and you refuse to take the deliverance and the freedom. You understand what I'm saying? You refuse to do it. And see, God gives us freedom, but you refuse to accept the salvation that God has given you. And so you keep on walking in that convicted sin, but God's going to show you. And we see it playing out today, how God is exposing folks for who they are. And some folks getting ready to go to jail. They scared to go, and they on their platforms, but they real scared to go to jail. See, they talk a good talk, and they participate in federal crimes, and they talk all this stuff, and they jealous of other folks, and they try to get people to follow them. But guess what? I'm my own person. I'm a free thinker, and I'm not easily manipulated, and I'm not easily swayed by your BS. And I'm going to say BS because I'm not a cursor, but I'm not easily swayed by the nonsense and the bafoulet and the beeswax and the foolishness that you out here doing. And when it comes to my brothers and sisters that's walking upright and trying to do what's right, I got big love for them. I got love for them. They got my support, but I can't participate in the BS that's going on because folks is just jealous of other folks that's doing it big, because God has made them a boss in their own right. And there's some boss people out here doing what they got to do, walking in their purpose and showing up for when it's time to show up and do the right thing. And it's some folks that's jealous about it, and they walking in convicted sin, and they refuse to allow God to deliver them from it. So all you people out here that God is blessing and doing big in your life, keep walking in your blessings, keep enjoying your emotional health, keep enjoying your newfound freedom, your newfound peace, your new attitude. Keep walking in it, keep serving it, and don't worry about the naysayers and the ones that's just jealous because they just mad. And see, your haters make you greater. See, there's some folks out here that's just mad, but when you can wake up each day, even if you struggle, even if you're struggling, even if you don't have everything that you want, guess what? But you're still waking up with a smile on your face. You still letting your light shine. You still doing it big each and every day. You still touching hearts. You still smiling. You still loving on folks, and you're still getting up every day speaking your truth. Don't let the naysayers. Don't let them. Don't be bothered by them. Don't make their problem your problem. Let it be the problem that it already is. See, this is God's problem. Their problems are God's problem. They're not yours. So good morning, no tolerance. Good morning to everyone that just came into the chat. But don't let their problems make it your problems. See, because God is bigger than all of this down here. He sits high. He's up on that throne looking down upon us. So everything that God has done for you, walk in it because it came from God. It didn't come from no federal case and identity theft and stealing stuff from folks and defrauding people. It didn't come from that. It came from God. And when it comes from God, celebrate in it, walk in it, and do the work that God has called you to. Don't worry about naysayers. Don't worry about that. Celebrate what God has given you. Because if it came from God, then it's God. And he did it for you. And you know that he did, and you can walk in it. And don't worry about the naysayers and the distractions, and don't be threatening and intimidated by all of that other stuff. But guess what? Be encouraged on today. Walk in your new attitude and enjoy your emotional health. Because, see, they try to take that away from you, too. If they can't take the material things from you, then they try to take away your emotional health and keep badgering you and talking smack about you and trying to get you off your game and trying to make you stumble. They do all those things because they jealous. So somewhere somebody got to talk about how to deal with these jealous people out here. Somewhere somebody got to be able to encourage others, and we encourage each other together that this is real, folks. This is real. See, there is nothing new up under the sun. God he gives us life applications through his word, through the Holy Spirit. Is nothing new up under the sun. These are social issues that we're dealing with. But guess what? We know that jealousy has been around for years. It was jealousy in the Bible amongst the people. It was always some stuff going on then, and it's not going to stop going on. But we got to be equipped. We got to be ahead of our enemy. We got to study our enemy to know what's going on. So we ask God to give us discernment and knowledge and wisdom to study the enemy, to be 2 steps, 3 steps ahead of our enemy and know what they trying to plan. And if you're in God's army, you ain't got to worry about your enemy. You don't have to worry about the threats and the jealousy, because God's going to take care. He's going to remove every threat and everyone that came up against you that's walking in their convicted sin. They going to be like this, out of there. You know that little emoji? They're going to be out of there. That's what's going to happen to them. So don't worry about them. Be encouraged on today, my brothers and sisters. Be encouraged. Lift up one another. And guess what? Give them one of them little like emoji kisses, because you know what? God's going to take care of them for you. He's going to take care of them for you. And one other thing I want to say before I let you all go, because I know I'll see you out on these streets, but one other thing that I want to say to you, because I hear a lot of people saying this, but I want to say this, and let me go to it real quick right here, real quick. Stay with me real quick. Right here. See, because a lot of people say when you dig one ditch, you got to dig two. Well, I'm coming from a place of the word of God, King James Version, okay? And Proverbs 26:27 says right here, whoso diggeth a pit shall fall therein. See, let me stop right there, clause A. You don't have to dig you don't have to dig 2 pits. You don't have to get out there and make some extra work for yourself. You don't need to make extra work for yourself to dig a pit you know they gonna fall in. No, because it says right here, whoso diggeth a pit shall fall therein. Therein means they gonna fall in the same pit that they digging for you. And I see a lot of folks falling in that pit that they dig for other folks, and we know some of the other folks that they have set up and dig a pit for, and we have been fighting for the injustice of this man and that man and some other folks. But what I'm saying to you, this same pit that they have digged for others, some of them are slipping and sliding to try to stay out of, they struggling to try to stay out of that pit that they have digged for others. That's it. Whoso diggeth a pit shall fall therein. And he that rolleth a stone, it will return upon them. So if you rolling over a stone, that same stone right here will return upon them. It will return upon them. So my brothers and sisters, just understand that what God has given you, and he has given you blessings. He has given you a new attitude. He has given you a new mindset. A new mindset. Walk in your blessings and don't worry about the naysayers, the haters, and the ones that are jealous of your blessings, because it came from God and they can't take what God has already given you. And I thank everyone for tuning in. If you haven't hit the like button, please hit the like button on your way out. God bless you on today. I love you, my brothers and sisters. Peace in the streets.